Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Modern Life Podcast. I'm Ben, and I am currently sitting in an apartment surrounded by half-unpacked cardboard boxes because, well, I just moved to the city literally 4 days ago.
And I'm Amy. I've lived in the same neighborhood for about 5 years now, and I'm the type of person who still has the same best friend I've had since I was 5. So, basically the opposite of Ben right now.
Exactly. And that is why we are talking about today's topic, the great friendship struggle. Specifically, why on earth is it so hard to make friends in your 20 seconds? I mean, I'm 26. I consider myself a pretty social guy, but yesterday I spent 20 minutes debating whether I should say hi to my neighbor or just stare at my phone until he went inside. It's tough out here.
It is so real, though. We've all been there. When you're in your 20 seconds, you're basically in this weird in-between stage. You aren't a kid anymore. You aren't in school. But you don't necessarily have a family of your own yet. It's like the social safety net just disappears.
That is the perfect way to put it. The safety net. Think about it when we were in university, or even high school. Making friends was almost automatic. You were thrown into a room with 2,000 people who were the exact same age as you, had the same schedule, and were all equally broke.
Right. You had forced proximity. I mean, you didn't even have to try. You'd sit next to someone in a biology lecture, ask them for a pencil, and boom, 3 years later you're at their wedding. But now, I work from home 3 days a week. My only coworker is my cat, and let's be honest, he's a terrible listener.
I feel that. Now that I've moved here for this new job, I realize that office friends are great, but there's a limit. You can't always talk about deep life stuff at the water cooler. And if you're a freelancer or you work remotely, that social circle is basically non-existent. It's like we graduated and suddenly someone turned the difficulty setting from easy to expert.
It's because we lost our third places. Have you heard of that term, Ben?
I think so. Like the place that isn't home and isn't work?
Exactly. Your first place is home. Your second place is work. A third place is a spot where you can hang out, meet people, and just exist without it being a big event. It used to be local pubs, coffee shops, or even town squares, but now everyone just goes home and watches Netflix. Or we go to a coffee shop, but we put our headphones on and stare at our laptops. We've built these invisible walls around ourselves.
Wow, that's actually a bit sad. But it's so true. Yesterday, I went to this really cool local cafe. I was like, okay, Ben, this is it. You're going to meet your new best friend. I sat there for 2 hours. Everyone, and I mean everyone, had AirPods in. It felt like I'd be committing a crime if I interrupted them to say, hey, I like your laptop sticker.
Right? It feels like an invasion of privacy. But that's the thing, we have to break that unspoken rule a little bit. If you want to find your community, you have to look for hobby clubs or specific third places where talking is actually encouraged. Like, I joined a pottery class last month.
Pottery? Like making bowls and stuff?
Yeah. And honestly, it was the best thing I've done all year. Because your hands are covered in clay, you can't look at your phone. You're forced to actually look at the person next to you and say, wow, my vase looks like a pancake. And they laugh, and suddenly you're talking. It's about finding those environments where the phone wall is down.
That's a great point. I've been looking into a Saturday morning running club. At first, I was like, why would I wake up at 7 a.m. to run with strangers? But then I realized that's exactly where the other 20-somethings who are looking for friends are hanging out. You have to go where the effort is.
Exactly. But let's talk about the other side of this, the internet. I mean, we're the digital generation. A lot of us make friends on Instagram, Discord, or even Bumble Best Friends Forever. Have you ever tried those?
Oh man, Bumble Best Friends Forever is a wild experience. It's basically dating, but for bros. You're swiping on guys like, oh, he likes Star Wars and hiking? Swipe right. It feels a bit awkward at first, I'm not gonna lie.
It is awkward, but it's becoming the new normal. However, there's a big struggle there. How do you take someone from being a profile picture to a real-life human being you actually trust?
That's the scary part. You don't want to be internet friends forever, but meeting up in person feels like a high-stakes audition. I think the key is to move to the real world as quickly but as safely as possible.
Agreed. I actually met one of my now good friends, Sarah, on a Facebook group for local hikers. We talked online for about 2 weeks first. I think that's the safety buffer. You check their social media, you see if you have mutual friends, you make sure they aren't, a total weirdo.
Reasonable.
But the move is to suggest a low-pressure meeting. Don't ask them to come over to your house or go for a 5-hour dinner. I told Sarah, hey, I'm going to this specific park on Saturday morning. If you want to bring your dog and walk for 30 minutes, I'll be there. It gives both people an exit strategy if the vibes are off.
I love that. The exit strategy. It's like, if we don't click, I was going to be at the park anyway, so no harm done. I think a lot of people my age are scared of rejection. If I ask someone to grab a coffee and they say no, it feels like the end of the world. But in reality, they're probably just busy or equally introverted and scared.
Literally, most people are just as lonely as you are, but everyone is waiting for someone else to make the first move. It's like a standoff.
So, okay, let's say I do it. I go to the running club, I meet a guy named Dave, we talk about shoes. How do I actually make him a friend? As an inner circle lover, Amy, how do you handle that transition?
Well, for me, it's about consistency. I think people think friendship is about big, grand adventures. It's not. It's about the small stuff. It's sending a meme that reminded you of a conversation you had. It's asking, hey, how did that presentation at work go?
So basically showing that you actually listened when they were talking.
Exactly. People love to be heard. If you remember that I mentioned my sister was sick and you text me 2 days later to ask how she is, wow. You just moved from guy I know to friend in my book. It shows you care about the details.
That's a good tip. I think I sometimes try too hard to be the funny guy or the cool guy instead of just being the thoughtful guy. It's a bit of an ego thing, I guess. You want people to like you, so you put on a show. But real friendship is when you can stop the show and just chill.
Right, and you have to be okay with it being a slow process. In college, you could become best friends in a weekend because you spent 48 hours straight together. In your 20 seconds, it might take 6 months of grabbing coffee once every 2 weeks to reach that level. You have to be patient.
Patience is not my strong suit, Amy. I want a best friend and I want him now. But I get it. It's an investment. Like, if you don't water the plant, it's not going to grow.
Exactly. And let's talk about the maintenance part. Once you have those friends, how do you keep them? I find that in your 20 seconds, people move away a lot for work or relationships.
Oh, for sure. Half of my friends from university are in different time zones now. It's tough. You go from seeing them every day to seeing them once a year if you're lucky. It makes you feel a bit adrift.
It really does. But I've learned that the quality of the interaction matters more than the frequency. I have a friend who lives in London, and we have a scheduled FaceTime once a month. It sounds corporate, I know, but if we didn't schedule it, it wouldn't happen. We'd just say, we should talk soon for 3 years until we died.
Let's do lunch soon. The famous lie we all tell. Yeah, scheduling is actually a lifesaver. It takes the pressure off. You don't have to wonder if you're annoying them, because it's already on the calendar.
And don't be afraid to be the initiator. I think a lot of people feel like if they wanted to hang out with me, they would ask. But the truth is, everyone is tired. Everyone is overwhelmed by their jobs or their laundry or their own thoughts. When someone reaches out and says, hey, I'm going to this museum, want to join? It's usually a relief for the other person.
That's a really powerful perspective. Being the initiator isn't desperate. It's actually being a leader in your social life. I like that. I'm going to stop waiting for my phone to ring and start making it ring.
Yes, go Ben. But also, remember to be kind to yourself. You aren't going to click with everyone. Some people are just seasoned friends. They're there for a specific time in your life, and then you drift apart, and that's okay.
I think I needed to hear that. Not every person you meet at a coffee shop has to be your best man at your wedding. Some people are just there to have a nice 10-minute conversation about coffee beans, and that's a win too.
Definitely. Every little interaction builds your social muscles. The more you talk to strangers, the easier it gets. It's like going to the gym, but for your soul.
Okay, that was a bit cheesy, but I'll take it. The social gym. I'm definitely feeling the burn lately, but honestly, talking this through makes it feel a lot less heavy. It's a universal struggle. If you're listening to this and you feel lonely, just know you're in good company.
Exactly. We're all just out here trying to figure it out. So go join that pottery class, or that running club, or just say hi to the person at the library. You never know where it might lead.
Solid advice. Well, I think I have some more boxes to unpack, and then I'm going to go find that running club. Wish me luck, Amy.
You've got this, Ben. And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on Modern Life.
We'll be back next week to talk about something equally stressful: taxes. Just kidding, maybe.
Peace out, everyone.
Bye.